The best stories major automotive India, the best stories in an entire sector.
Okay, you know what, man? It's time for you to stop all that nonsense right now, all right?
The best stories come from a singular vision. A vision to not just evolve, but to lay the foundation for an entire sector, an entire nation to evolve. आज की डेट में जो ऑटोमोटिव जायंट इंडिया बन रहा है वो हमेशा से तो नहीं था. This happened because there were visionaries who put their money where their mouths were. जहां पे एक तरफ JRD Tata played a pivotal role in turning Tata into a passenger segment car company, Ratan Tata took it a step further. The goal was simple. It was still to create a passenger vehicle, but this time there would be no outside influence. This time Tata would go all Atmanirbhar, thus causing the chain reaction that we see even today. Coming from humble beginnings, this car is an inspiration to every single car that rolls out of Indian factories till date. From hauling passengers to random sightings at the side of the road with that famous open bonnet, this car was just too hot. Literally. This is the legend of Tata Indica. The Tata Indica was a dream project for Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata wanted to make a car which was homegrown, which was indigenous, which was built in India by Indians. Plus, it was spacious, it was affordable. To put it in simple words, the car bahar se should look like a Zen. I mean the size of a Zen, but under se it should have the luxury and the space of an ambassador. And thus, in 1998, Tata rolled out its first indigenously made. And thus in 1998, Tata rolled out its first B-segment car. The Tata Indica is important for a whole lot of reasons. Iske pehle, Tata was only producing station wagons and SUVs, thus making the Indica the first passenger hatchback to be produced. And India ke andar, this was the first hatchback that came in with a diesel engine. इंडियन मार्केट में आते ही द टाटा इंडिका वॉज अ मैसिव सक्सेस. अगस्त 2008 से पहले ही 9 लाख से ज्यादा इंडिका प्रोड्यूस हो चुकी है और इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे 12 लाख से भी ज्यादा गाड़ियां बन चुकी थी. अकेले 2006 से 2007 के बीच में 1,44,000 इंडिकास वर सोल्ड. The first generation of the Tata Indica was launched on 30th December 1998. Tata Motors had launched the most modern car ever built by an Indian manufacturer. The car was marketed initially with the caption "More car per car." The focus was on affordability and on space. This car claimed that even if you did not have the budget, you could enjoy the same luxuries of something which was much more upmarket. Indica के market में आते ही पहले हफ्ते के अंदर Tata received over 1 lakh orders. To be exact, I think 1,15,000 as per reports on the internet. और इसी के 2 साल बाद Indica became the number 1 car in its very segment. Partly designed and developed by Tata Motors, it came with a 1.4 litre petrol as well as a diesel engine, internally designated as 475DL. ये एक homegrown इंजन था जो टाटा ने इसके पहले भी अपनी पिकअप्स एंड एसयूवीज पे यूज किया था. सेम इंजन उठा के इंडिका में डाला, बट एकदम उठा के नहीं डाला. The stroke was shortened to fit into the smaller car, of course.
Of course.
The Indica offered options that were only limited to upmarket luxurious cars. Options like air conditioning, options like power windows. All of these came in the Indica. And just to solidify this point, Indica एक international car थी. It was exported to Europe, it was exported to Africa. UK के अंदर it was sold by MG Motors as the City Rover. जब Indica initially launch हुई, it wasn't all क्या बोलते हैं, bells and whistles, guns and roses. It wasn't all flowers and sunshine for Tata Motors, क्योंकि first batch के अंदर customers को भर के complaints थी, जहाँ पे the Indica was marketed as a car that gave good power as well as good mileage. जब आप असल में चला रहे थे, दोनों ही चीजें नहीं मिल रही थी कस्टमर्स को. Thus, a lot of complaints started flooding in, but Tata did not turn a blind eye. Tata listened to its customers, and listen they did. इसके बाद जब नया बैच रोल आउट किया गया, Indica quickly became the most sought after car in its segment. Thus starting another chain reaction, जिसके बाद धनाधन टाटा मोटर्स ने एक के बाद एक नए वर्जन निकालने शुरू किए गए. कुछ ही टाइम बाद टाटा came in with the refreshingly new Indica V2. उसके कुछ टाइम बाद ही टाटा came out with the Indica V2 Zeta Petrol, which pumped the power to 70 PS. Although originally offered with a 1.4 liter petrol and a diesel engine, Tata started to experiment. अक्टूबर 2005 के अंदर एक turbocharged diesel engine दिया गया. नवंबर 2006 के अंदर a new 1.2 liter petrol engine came into effect. And a Dicor engine, a direct injection common rail engine, was also introduced in 2008. 2008 is also the year that Indica would move into its second generation. August 2008 marked the launch of the new generation of the Indica, called the Indica Vista. The Indica Vista wasn't merely an upgraded or facelifted Indica, it was a whole new car. It came on a whole new platform. It had no parts that were shared. कुछ भी सेम नहीं था. The curves were better, the lines were better, the car was bigger.
I'm stronger, I'm smarter, I'm better.
It also introduced two new Fiat engines, a 1.3 liter direct injection quarter jet engine for the diesel and a 1.2 liter Sapphire MPFI VVT petrol. A new version called the Quadrajet 90 was also launched, which pumped the power to 88 horsepower coming from the 1.3 liter diesel engine. Iske alawa, there was another car called the Vista D90. The D90 was the most powerful, the fastest Vista to have come out from Tata's lineup. It featured 90 PS coming in from a 1.3 liter multi-jet engine. The Indica isn't just merely a car from Tata's original lineup. It is the car that has paved the way for so much. One of the first, if not the first, one of the first homegrown indigenous family cars to have been built. ये गाड़ी थी जिसने even middle class या even जो लोग entry level पे गाड़ी ले रहे थे, उन लोगों को it gave the choice that you did not have to compromise on stuff. You could still have a small car which gave you space, and it also gave you features to compete with cars that were much higher up in the segment. Although the Indica had some troubles at the beginning, although शुरुआत में there might be times आप highway पे जा रहे हो and you would see an old version of the Indica and most likely the bonnet would be open, most likely धुआं निकल रहा होगा, coolant फट रहा होगा, but it is not about how you start, it is about how you evolve. The Indica had its problem, but it evolved धीरे turning Tata into the giant that it has become today. And it wasn't merely restricted to hauling families from here and there. The Indica became an instant hit with the taxi drivers. जहाँ पे देखो एक टाइम पे आपको Indica ही दिखती थी. There is an old article that I think came in Autocar quite a few years back, which had this comparison ki Indian streets pe which is the fastest car. It had around 5-6 cars. There was a Ferrari, there was a Lamborghini, un sabki wo sabki. But the consensus was, do you know which was the fastest car? The fastest car was an Indica to be driven by a driver. Yeah, that is the image that the Indica held. Imagine उस टाइम के ऊपर भी Tata came up with big engines that were delivering good amount of power. अगर reliability issues थे तो क्या हुआ? कहीं ना कहीं से तो evolvement शुरू होनी चाहिए. But no one can deny the fact that the importance that the Indica holds cannot be substituted or cannot be compared to anything else. And that is why the Tata Indica will forever remain a legend.